welcome back to more Railgun. If not really knowing who's friend and foe is your thing, you're probably in the right place. Manipulation of memories is really being rife right now. And though we were led to believe that this Shokoko memory manipulation was evil, she's doing all of this just to play a prank and mess with her as much as possible. There's a lot more going on here. And with this other side now really emerging, with molten metal, is everything that we were thinking going to be flipped on its head? Probably not, but it's at least going to shift slightly. Uncovering the secrets of what tried to be hidden. More evidence that something weird is going on here. But when you say creating Esper abilities, we've seen others that have attempted something similar to various ends. But if you can... What was that noise? Yeah, get over that. We've got more pressing issues right now. Judgment HQ. And hope she believes it. But for a computer to instill Esper abilities, is it a way to level the playing ground? Where level zeros and whatnot aren't kind of left in the dust. Always heading on in. Taking it on herself. But if there are these kind of weird goings on, someone claiming to be your friend, be overly familiar, would you be middlingly hostile? Obviously, you don't believe in anything. As soon as if anyone comes and saying, "Oh, I know you," it's like, take it with a grain of salt. But there's no need to be argumentative about it. But also, if we have characters that have been brought up, such as the one so obsessed with guts and proving yourself, is he going to actually play a role in this? Considering him and Shoko were chosen to speak at the event a while back. Antivirus. I guess, on nanomachines and the like, interrupting any sort of programming. They just happened to be in the neighborhood. Poor kitty. I mean, not entirely incorrect, but all the goodwill that she just all built up for herself, destroyed in an instant. However, someone slipped through the net. What an ability. I mean, if you have some sort of power, you would find its upper limits of what it can do. Like, take Railgun, for example. Being able to control the iron sand, stick to the size of buildings with static and the like. Being to rewire electronics. Why stop at just shooting some like electric bolts? Well, you could have gone about it in other ways. Absolute coincidence. And current status, yeah. Still out. The jury's out on that one. Is she actually going to impart things that she knows? But it's not going to come easy. Got places to be. And are you okay with allowing someone to take it all upon themselves? Of course, Sutton would be the one to empathise with it properly. What if it is true? You don't have to believe it to just not jump to any conclusions. Fair enough. But would a ability like that actually be listed as their power? Or is it someone that is kind of shifted their understanding? Really going to stretch the rules there. That's all it takes, really, someone. She has a mission to undertake. You want to hear information. She's only being held. Well, yeah, her immune system is something to be worried about, especially with the sisters, but as long as those nano machines themselves don't have any sort of tracking in them, unlike the mosquitoes. Well, you worked that out all by yourself. Right into the lion's den itself. The mysteries of the level 6 project. Gladly. It is a very useful ability, let's be honest. Just walk up. What do you know? So those that were a part of the project, those who just a slight understanding of it or knowledge of it, the clones were of no importance. They didn't bother thinking any further. How many groups are out there are looking for the sisters? There's these two right now that we know of, but there's been some in the past. Probably more in the future. And why did they need her out of the picture? Ah, yes. She could pose a threat. Why would anyone? A veritable treasure trove of information, of data, of their continued processes and whatnot. Yeah, I suppose. Well, we're lucky that she was around to help out then. Well, since the big satellite, I can't remember what it was called, was taken out, is there anything else that can do? Oh, great, we've heard that name before. Any means necessary in a search for truth. If they don't align with him, he just takes them all out. Can they just walk in? Go greet the big mastermind? That's why they needed to move fast. But with the likes of, say the Aztecs and whatnot, would they have their own abilities to play incognito? I think she could have found other ways of doing it, other than the way that she currently did, but probably take too long to figure out. So if she just turned up, they'd be more on guard. They'd be keeping much more of an eye. Possibly. Possibly not. Got wrecked. I suppose that she isn't a melee combatant. What ifs? The list grows of issues. What would have happened? You can probably let go of her top now. I guess that is one way of really taking someone's... Are they doing it out of their own goodwill? Also, can you trust everything that she's saying right now, and it's not also a twisted memory being implanted? A corrupt monster like you. Well, they'll just have to, go out for tea and cakes once or twice, then maybe she might answer. And even when kidnapped and tranked, sleeping habits are hard to overcome. And now she's overhearing it. I mean, since she's heard the backstory to it, I don't think the onus is on her for leading them down that path. Would be easier to talk about with a nice beverage. Also gives you a chance to think about what to say. Yep, you just have to pick yourselves up, restart, do what you can to... Well, they're onto it now. Not even... She did say once the tea is finished. The work ethic on that girl. You've just made him lose half a day's work. He'll never get back onto his correct route. Two very different poses to begin with. And is chasing in without much of a plan exactly what's going on, or should be going on. Would have been told about taking it careful because they'd be on the lookout if they even catch a glance of her. Can't, But does she actually know where she's going? Oh. Well, she just couldn't keep up. She betrayed. Oh no, she's just slow. She's not really up for physical exercise. But she tried her best to keep up. Just need to go at a more efficient pace. Yes, the centre of gravity and aerodynamics has really played a big part of it. Even though the truths are hard to hear, is this really the place to be saying them? Bit of a hypocrite there, but good to see them taking the severity of the situation seriously. At least no one will actually think that they were partners in crime out of all of this. Well, if one of them gets captured, they don't exactly need torturing to give the other up. They did a little research of their own. So putting it on someone that couldn't be too badly harmed. I put that in the wrong place. The lower echelons don't need to know the full plan, the full range of information of what's going on. And does he also know that they're closing in? When things are looking too well, of course they're going to hit a bit of a roadblock. Just what form does that take? And just how aerodynamic is it? So it is kind of like what we were thinking. Those that were looking over her, making sure she went to the events and whatnot, might not potentially be under any sort of control. It was just them trying, being told to do something, and being good little students, trying to be somewhat diligent about it. But of course, with the members of Judgment really working things out, they're not going to sit still, not provide any sort of care. And though they may interfere with the Queen's overall plans, I think their help will actually be somewhat useful in all of this. Especially if you're going after the great Kara Gensei. A man of grand ambition might be the right words. And so really, whether it be covering up for accidental interference, or a quick and easy ride, the Queen isn't one to think really twice before using her powers of memory manipulation. To be fair, how many of us would do any different? If it makes our lives slightly easier, click. But since we are heading into the belly of the beast, now going against the big bad, the one who's been at the heart of so much of this, and seeing the episode count, what's going to happen? This obviously isn't the end, not even close, so how many more get involved? And seeing the Queen act like this, like a proper student, arguing, bickering, failing to run more than 50 yards. My entire opinion of her hasn't really changed, but there's at least a bit more characterization going on. It was sorely needed. But we really should be getting into it, so I'll be really looking forward to the next week's episodes, and hopefully you will too. If you enjoyed these ones, let me know. If you leave a like and a comment down below, it helps out me, it helps out the channel. Maybe even consider subscribing if you want to keep up to date with new releases. But for now, get yourselves a bit of rest. Hopefully you know who to trust. Oh, and a cardio workout won't hurt every now and again. See you there. Just like we've seen here, my patrons probably have ulterior motives as to why they're supporting the channel, but until I actually figure it all out, we get to watch some more anime. So, I need to thank Electricant, Noku, Raywin, Kite, Sal, Arthea, Shiwan, Mats, Gurley, Cardboard, Croyville, Gintman, William Welch, Dark Shadow 7899, Mega 42, Finesse Kid, and everyone else. Just, no matter what you do, please don't make me run.